policy, and policy 5200, student transportation.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well. Good evening, Chair Catronio, Dr. Materano, board members. I'm here this evening. My name is Dr. Antoine Perry. I am the policy manager and charter school liaison, and I'm here to present policy 5200, student transportation. This policy is being modified to coincide with changes and updates to the new school start times. The policy chairs are Mr. Brian Nevin, Director of Transportation, who is, yes, joining us virtually, Mr. Doug Campy, Transportation Planner Analyst, and we're also joined, I believe, by Mr. Tom Platt from Decision Support Group, but maybe not, because I don't see him, but we have it. We're going to start with a brief presentation to highlight some of the changes, and then we will take any questions that you may have. So I will first turn it over to Mr. Campy.
Actually, Mr. Nevin will start this.
Sure. Good evening, Chair Catronio, members of the board, Dr. Materano, Brian Nevin, Director of Student Transportation. You can slide on to the next slide, please. No, we're not to questions yet. I'm sorry, as much as I'd like to be. So we'll just start with the rationale for the policy modifications. These changes are being made to coincide with the new school start times, allow opportunity to achieve no and low cost savings solution. The key thing to highlight is there's zero impact on students with individualized education plans or the Section 504 plans. And it will need a rolling implementation between school year 22-23 and full implementation, which is the majority of it, in school year 23-24. Prior to school year 23-24, we will need to gather the data for the opt-in that we will discuss so that we can make sure it's working and able to be applied as we start the school year 23-24. Next slide, please. And I think Mr. Campy.
Hello, everyone. So the first thing is to discuss adjustments to the non-transported area, commonly referred to as a walk zone. But we'll start by level. The first adjustment is to the pre-K students. Again, these are not IEP students. These are regular needs students accessing their community stops. The adjustment would go from half mile to 1 mile. It would coincide with 12 other districts within the county that have this as their criteria. The rest of elementary, it would stay at 1 mile. However, there is a change that I'll discuss in the next slide. And we are in line with 20 other school systems within the county. Middle school would increase from 1 mile to 1.5 miles. Again, that's another 13 districts within the state of Maryland. And high school would increase from 1.5 miles to 2 miles. There's 2 counties, Montgomery and PG, that have this as a criteria, distance criteria. Frederick is close at 1 3/4 mile. You can go to the next slide. So I said that there was a change at the there was no change at the elementary level, but it's how we measure that 1 mile. Our current distance criteria is from door to door, which is different from how we measure both middle and high school levels, which is property line to property line. We are making an adjustment to be in line at all levels of education. So. And then I will, let's hear, another issue is being able to increase the walk distance to bus stops from 1/2 mile to 1 mile. And then next slide. And then the third part of the policy revision is adopting an opt-in process, which Anne Arundel County is implementing next school year. This is common nationwide. There will be, the criteria will be that first you have to be within an eligible distance for a bus. And then what would be new is actually being able to, you'd request a bus. And then finally, we would implement processes to monitor the use of that bus, so we could possibly rescind someone who never uses the bus. So, that this is a critical piece of the 5200 revision. We can go next slide.
Okay, so the benefits of the changes will enable the school start time at the low, no-cost option, ensures sufficient use of the transportation resources, maximizes our effectiveness of our service, a KPI to track performance, and these changes plan for the actual ridership. So in order to measure the success, we would be able to look at the number of buses that were used pre-school start time versus after the implementation. With a 45-minute compression of time, it would be able to be evaluated based on the number of buses in the fleet. And then also the planned student ridership versus actual student ridership. Currently, we average about 70%, which is the normal expected range without utilizing an opt-in program. And then the expectation would be that this number would increase. Next slide, please. Thank you, and we are certainly available to take any questions that you may have.
Ms. Mosley.
Thank you. I have a couple questions about the changes in the policy. Is hazard busing still going to be afforded to students?
That's correct. The number one piece will stay safety. So regardless of what we change as far as distance, it has to maintain a safe, walkable, suitable pathway in order to receive the transportation.
Great. And my other question is, changing the classification of ridership, that can happen at any time in the school year, right? Opt-in, opt-out. What is the turnaround time for those types of changes?
Depending upon the situation, but typically we would expect anywhere from 3 to 5 days.
Will there be a process shared with the community on how to do that?
That's correct. A process will be put in place. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Liu?
Ms. Mosley asked, my first question is about if it's not safe to walk to the school, basically we're still going to provide bus transportation regardless of the distance. So I just want the community to know that safety is the number one consideration. So we not only consider distance. I already asked this question during the small group meeting, but I want to make sure that community also hear this message so they don't have to worry about the safety of their children. My second question is about the opt-in choice, because many times we have seen that we couldn't reach out to families, especially those families, they are having barriers to hear back from our school system. Do we have an algorithm to make sure that they can receive the information? Also, if on the first day of school, we realized that some students, they were waiting for the school bus and then didn't realize that there was no bus because they didn't opt in. What options do we have for those students? Because if we choose opt in, basically, if I see the message, I would choose opt in. But if I didn't see it, do we have any remedy to make sure the student can go to school and not miss the first day of school? And if they miss first day of school, do we have options for them the second day? Contingent on that, we know they need transportation.
Yeah, so as far as getting it out there to the community, this will definitely be something that will be in partnership with the communications office, and then we will make sure that it is very clearly communicated and frequently communicated as well to the community to ensure that everybody is made aware of the changes. We'll work through the communication office. We'll work through the individual schools, and we'll take the steps necessary to ensure that the community is made aware and what we need to receive from them in order to become more efficient and able to make the plan happen. So if somebody doesn't have it, depending upon where they ended up, it may be as simple as they were right near a bus stop, and we might be able to kind of resolve the issue for them quite honestly that morning, but potentially it would be able to be the next day, depending upon the individual circumstance, as well as the level of issues that we were faced with.
Yeah, thank you.